Let's kick things off with our first story, and it's an absolute bombshell. Dricus du Plessis has come out swinging with a powerful message aimed directly at the entire UFC middleweight division ahead of UFC 319. The reigning South African powerhouse has declared that he will once again shock the world when he steps into the octagon. Known for building his career on defying the odds, du Plessis is more motivated than ever to prove the doubters wrong. And if his words on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani are any indication, he's not just planning to win, he's promising a performance for the ages. Let me make this clear. Du Plessis said with fire and intensity in his voice, "My opponent, he's a special fighter, incredibly talented, one of the best in the world. But here's the truth. I can't wait to show everyone why this is my time. This isn't just another win. This is history in the making. I'm going to walk into that cage and shock the world all over again, just like I've done every single time people counted me out." That confidence comes from experience. Du Plessis has made a habit of proving people wrong. Time and time again, whether it was critics who said he'd never crack the top 10 or fans who claimed he couldn't hang with the elite, he silenced them all. From his vicious knockout of Robert Whittaker to his grueling war with Strickland, du Plessis has shown that not only can he handle pressure, he thrives in it. Now, with UFC 319 on the horizon, he's entering the cage with a chip on his shoulder the size of South Africa, determined to cement his name as the undisputed king of the middleweight division. Remember when they said it was impossible? When they said, "Not this guy, he can't do it"? Well, here I am, du Plessis declared. And when that cage door closes, you're going to see something special. You're going to see the so-called boogeyman realize he's in deep water. You're going to see him break round by round, strike by strike until there's no doubt left in his mind or anyone else's. He'll look across that octagon and understand there's only one true boogeyman in this division, and that's me. Let that sink in. Du Plessis isn't just here to compete. He's here to dominate. He's here to expose weaknesses and dismantle the myth of invincibility surrounding his opponent. The middleweight division, he says, has been waiting for a champion who fights with no fear, someone who leaves it all in the cage every single time. That's what I bring, he said with conviction. When I say there's only one boogeyman, I mean it. After this fight, there will be no questions. No debates, just the cold, hard truth. I'm the most dangerous man in this weight class, and I'm coming for that belt with everything I've got. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the tension is building. Du Plessis is treating this as the defining moment of his career. With his relentless mindset, savage power, and unstoppable pressure, he's setting the stage for a fight that could go down in UFC history. Will he back up his words, or will he finally meet an opponent who can push him to the limit? One thing is certain, you won't want to miss it. We're always working to bring you the latest and most exciting UFC coverage. If you enjoy our content, take a moment to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Here's your rewritten version in a clean, professional style, without timestamps or gaps. The lightweight division is heating up as Tsarukyan drops major hints about a potential showdown with featherweight champion Ilia Topuria. This brewing rivalry escalated dramatically after some surprising remarks from none other than Chael Sonnen. Following Ilia's dominant title defense at UFC 317, Dana White acknowledged that Tsarukyan stepping up as the official backup fighter was a positive step toward rebuilding trust with the promotion. However, the UFC president notably stopped short of confirming Arman as the next challenger for the belt. That's when Chael Sonnen dropped a bombshell on his podcast. "My sources tell me Arman is next in line for Ilia. This fight is happening sooner than people think." The MMA community erupted with speculation, and Arman wasted no time addressing the rumors in an intense interview with MMA Junkie. "I've been waiting for this title shot longer than anyone. I've earned it," Arman declared. "Chael's just saying what everyone already knows. I deserve this opportunity." But here's what's funny. The UFC hasn't told me anything official yet. Turning his attention directly to Ilia didn't hold back. He can pretend all he wants, but Ilia knows what happens when we fight. He's already planning his escape, either moving up to lightweight or hoping I get tied up with someone else. Why? Because I'm the nightmare he can't wake up from. Tsarukyan's confidence isn't unfounded. Riding an 8-fight win streak that includes dominant victories over Beneil Dariush and Charles Oliveira, he's made a strong case as the top contender. "Look at who Ilia wants next, Poirier or anyone but me," Arman continued. "He's chasing money fights because he knows defending against me is a one-way ticket to losing that belt. But here's the truth, you can't hide forever." Champion attention hit a boiling point when Tsarukyan made a bold prediction. "When we finally meet, it won't be competitive. It won't be close. I will expose him in ways no one ever has. That belt is mine." He's just keeping it warm until Dana makes the call. While Sonnen is known for occasionally stretching the facts, this rumor carries weight. With the UFC December pay-per-view still lacking a main event, fans are wondering if this could be the champion versus champion clash they've been waiting for. Meanwhile, breaking news from the middleweight division has sent shockwaves across the MMA world. Khamzat Chimaev has unveiled his brutal blueprint to dismantle Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319. In a fiery interview, the undefeated phenom promised fans the most dangerous and versatile version of boars they've ever seen, a warning to both du Plessis and the rest of the division. Listen carefully, Khamzat Chimaev growled, his eyes burning with intensity. "I'm coming to war, like always, first minute to last. If the knockout comes early, beautiful. But make no mistake, I've been bleeding in the gym, preparing for 25 full minutes of carnage. 5 rounds? 10 rounds, I'll fight until sunrise if Dana lets us." This chilling declaration shatters the narrative that Chimaev's cardio could be his Achilles heel. The Chechen-born star has been secretly working with Olympic-level wrestling coaches, elevating his already fearsome grappling into a truly unstoppable force. His confidence is absolute. People forget, du Plessis got dragged into deep water by Whitaker's takedowns. Chimaev scoffed. Darren Till, a striker by trade, had him scrambling on the mat. And those aren't even grappling specialists. "I'm not just good at wrestling, I'm historic. When I shoot, it's not a takedown, it's a death sentence." Insiders report that Chimaev has been meticulously studying hours of fight footage, pinpointing critical weaknesses in du Plessis' defensive grappling. "Watch how he panics when his back hits the canvas," Chimaev said that first round against Strickland. "He was lost in transitions. Against me, he'll drown before the third." But perhaps most terrifying is Chimaev's game plan. His camp is preparing several kill scenarios. First round blitz, overwhelm du Plessis with relentless early pressure. Gradual destruction, wear him down in the clinch, breaking his will over time. Late finish, conserve energy for a 4th or 5th round submission. Striking when the champion is most vulnerable. "Let them doubt my gas tank." Chimaev smirked. "I want du Plessis to believe he can survive the early storm. That's when the real torture begins." By round 3, he'll be begging for a knockout. With fight night fast approaching, one question looms over the middleweight division. Can anyone stop this fusion of Khabib's suffocating grappling and Fedor's ruthless finishing instinct? Du Plessis had better be sharpening his escape game, because Chimaev plans to take him to places no UFC middleweight has ever been. And not all of them involve a safe return. Sean Strickland is once again making headlines with his trademark brutal honesty. And this time, his target is none other than Khamzat Chimaev. In a recent interview, Strickland didn't hold back, labeling Chimaev as mentally weak and pointing to specific moments in the Chechen-born fighter's career to back up his claim. Back in 2020, Chimaev exploded onto the UFC scene with back-to-back dominant performances. He didn't just win, he demolished his opponents. That momentum peaked when he knocked out Gerald Meerschaert in just 17 seconds, sending shockwaves through the middleweight division. But then came a major setback. Chimaev was struck with a severe case of COVID-19, not the mild kind that sidelines fighters for a couple of weeks. He was hospitalized, coughing up blood, and forced to withdraw from multiple scheduled bouts with Leon Edwards. In March 2021, after just 3 fights in the UFC, the undefeated rising star stunned fans by announcing his retirement from MMA, while Chimaev eventually returned stronger than ever, securing 5 straight victories over top names like Gilbert Burns, Kevin Holland, and Kamaru Usman. Strickland remains skeptical of the hype. "I was there when he retired," Strickland told Red Corner MMA. "I was training with him. There's even a video where I told him, 'You're so good. You're better than everybody,' but I was being sarcastic. You can train with high-level UFC fighters, but if you're picking one guy just because he's the same height as your opponent, no, dude, you're not preparing smart, you're picking him because you're scared. Mentally, he's just a weak man." The two actually have history. Strickland and Chimaev trained together at one point, and by most accounts, Chimaev dominated the grappling exchanges. Not surprising given his credentials as a 2-time Swedish national wrestling champion, but that training history appears to have sparked long-standing tension between them. Over the past year, things have escalated. The fighters have exchanged insults online, taken shots in interviews, and openly mocked each other's skill sets. From the outside, the rivalry feels personal, with both men positioned near the top of their respective divisions, Strickland recently losing his middleweight title, and Chimaev still undefeated. It's not impossible that the UFC books a fight to settle the score inside the octagon. Until then, Strickland's latest comments are sure to keep the fire burning. The only question is, will Chimaev fire back with words, or will he let his performances do the talking? Islam Makhachev has finally responded to Khamzat Chimaev's recent call-out and the ongoing pound-for-pound conversation, a story that's been gaining serious traction. This all began after Chimaev made headlines during a recent appearance with Brett Okamoto, where he openly challenged Makhachev, saying he wants a future fight to determine the true pound-for-pound king of the UFC. Thus wasn't just casual name. Chimaev made it clear that he wants to face the best, and in his eyes, Makhachev stands in his way. What makes this even more interesting is that such a call-out is extremely rare. Fighters from Chechnya and Dagestan typically avoid calling each other out not out of fear, but due to a deep cultural respect and brotherhood shared between the two regions. This unspoken rule is so strong that even when elite fighters from these areas are in the same division, they usually steer clear of trash talk or potential matchups. A notable example of this respect occurred when Khabib Nurmagomedov once flew to Moscow to personally confront Petr Yan over comments made about fighters from Dagestan. That's how deeply this code of honor runs. For Chimaev to break that tradition and call out Makhachev signals just how serious he is about his legacy will to face anyone, regardless of region, background, or history. When asked about Chimaev's challenge, Makhachev remained calm and professional. He acknowledged Chimaev's ambition but emphasized that his focus remains on defending his lightweight title and climbing the pound-for-pound ladder one fight at a time. If Khamzat wants that fight, he needs to keep winning, Makhachev said. I'm the champion. If the UFC wants to make it happen someday, then we can talk. While the exchange has been respectful, there's no denying an undercurrent of tension. Both fighters have mutual respect, but both are also fierce competitors who want to be recognized as the #1 fighter in the world. With Chimaev pushing toward middleweight dominance and Makhachev reigning over the lightweight division, a future super fight is far from impossible. Fans are already buzzing at the prospect Chimaev's explosive wrestling and aggression versus Makhachev's methodical dominance and precision grappling, a stylistic clash that could sell out any arena on the planet. For now, the rivalry remains professional, but the seeds are being planted for a potential pound-for-pound showdown that could redefine the UFC's future. Adding fuel to the fire is Chimaev's rocky history with Team Khabib, stemming in part from a heated brawl with Abubakar Nurmagomedov a few years ago. In that context, his targeting of Makhachev isn't as surprising as it might initially seem. MMA World has already reacted strongly. A clip of Makhachev addressing the challenge has been circulating widely on VK, Russia's largest social platform. In the video, Makhachev says, "I do everything I can to achieve great things and build my legacy. As long as God wills it, I'll make it happen. I'll never shy away from big challenges because that's what builds a legacy. They haven't offered me anything official yet. Obviously, I train hard every single day because when the time comes and I step inside the cage, I want to be as dominant as possible. I don't want to come out all bruised after any fight." You walk in confident, feeling superior, knowing you're going to win. How do you maintain that mindset? When you're well-trained and fully prepared, confidence comes naturally, all thanks to God. Moving on to another major headline, Khamzat Chimaev has set his sights on the biggest names across multiple divisions. Ahead of his massive showdown at UFC 319, Chimaev isn't just focused on Dricus du Plessis and the middleweight title. He's already thinking far beyond that. In a recent interview, Chimaev made it clear he's prepared to go all 5 rounds with du Plessis if necessary. There has been plenty of online chatter, with critics and even some fighters questioning Chimaev's cardio, suggesting his only real path to victory is an early finish and doubting his gas tank in a full 5-round war. But Chimaev remains unfazed. "I'm going to go Elin like always," he said. "We'll see. If it's going to go fast, it's going to be fast. But if it goes 5 rounds, I will be ready. I'm fighting 5 rounds." Strong words from a man who's never lacked confidence inside the cage. But that wasn't the only topic addressed. Chimaev also shut down recent rumors that he might retire after UFC 319. Some fans speculated that if he wins the middleweight belt, he could hang up the gloves early. Chimaev laughed off the idea. "There's this rumor out there that if I win the championship, I will retire. I've seen people say that, but I need money. Bro, this is not enough. I'm not just going for one title. I want to defend the belt or fight for another belt in Abu Dhabi as well." That's classic Chimaev filter, straight to the point. And his ambitions don't stop at middleweight. He's openly talked about making history by becoming a triple champion, something never before accomplished in UFC history. Chimaev revealed that he's willing to move up to light heavyweight to face the winner of the upcoming title bout between Alex Pereira and Magomed. "If I go up, there's Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. They're fighting now. Whoever wins, I can fight for that belt as well," he said. And he hasn't ruled out dropping back down to welterweight. Working with a new coach, Chimaev believes he can make the 170-pound limit again. He even threw a subtle jab at the current top contender. "I don't know who the champ is there. That Australian guy, JDM, that would be a good fight for me." The Australian guy he's referring to is likely Jack Della Maddalena, a rising star on an impressive win streak. The bottom line is clear. Chimaev isn't just aiming to be a champion, he's aiming to dominate 3 divisions. If he gets past du Plessis at UFC 319, don't be surprised if his next call-out isn't for a title defense, but for another belt. The ambition is undeniable. The only question is, can he actually pull it off? Time will tell.